Spencer Dinwiddie, but let's make no mistake, the schedule has softened as well. So when you're down your best player, it helps that the schedule lightens a bit in terms of level of competition.
Well, Kyrie Irving's not in the building. Spencer Dinwiddie.
You were following me since the summertime, this past summer, and you were following me from the beginning since I made NBA content. You would understand that the moment that the Celtics lost Kyrie Irving and acquired Kemba Walker, I immediately said that the Boston Celtics upgraded their team tremendously. And a lot of people laughed at me for this notion because they said, what are you doing? You're out of your mind. Kyrie Irving's a champion. Kyrie Irving's an all-star. Kemba Walker has never had any playoff success. What are you talking about? And I said that Kyrie Irving was spoiled by his success by playing Robin to LeBron James's Batman, and meanwhile Kemba Walker was just hungry to be placed in a competent organization that could compete for championships. While Kyrie Irving was causing dysfunction in the Boston Celtics franchise, Kemba Walker was just looking for an opportunity to be part of a good team that could potentially compete in the playoffs and hopefully for a championship. And we saw this literally 4 days, or was it 5 days, after Kemba Walker was carried out on a stretcher. We saw him torch the Brooklyn Nets for 39 points. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's beautiful, and I personally thought it was a very touching story. But this isn't a story about Kemba Walker. Rather, this is a story about Kyrie Irving, because after that game, Kyrie Irving went ahead and posted this ridiculous Instagram post. And I'll say it's ridiculous because its font is really weird and it's in orange and it's really small, and I really wish he just, typed it in a notepad and screenshotted it and posted on his story, because it was really difficult to read, and I am not even going to attempt to read it. I'll leave it on my screen for you guys to attempt to read it, and because, hopefully I could get out of getting another copyright claim on my content, which, speaking of which, I'm going to jump into that really quickly before we get into the content. If you guys watched my video 2 days ago, I made a video saying that my YouTube career is over, and pretty much what happened is BBTV, my network, originally gave me the license to use NBA content in my videos, and all of a sudden they started claiming my videos, and pretty much I'm not the only YouTuber this is happening to. There's a big thing going on, so for the meantime, guys, I am going to continue making content for you guys on YouTube. Now, if you want to support me additionally, I have made a Patreon. It's in the description down below. I'm going to upload some of my claimed content to Patreon and some of my claimed content to IGTV. So if you want to support me on Patreon, a link to that's in the description down below. But please make sure you're following me on IGTV, because in the event that my YouTube channel gets taken down, I will be primarily operating on IGTV. But in the meantime, it's business as usual. I appreciate all the people subscribing, turning on notifications, and really riding with me through this difficult time. I expect difficult times, and I'm a very resilient guy, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep getting my content out to you guys. I love y'all, man. So let's get to this IG post, because I'm going to pretty much summarize what it says. And for the most part, I really don't understand the purpose of this IG post. Whenever you send that, it's pretty much like, whenever you're out and you're drunk with a bunch of buddies and you're thinking to yourself, man, I should really text my ex at 1 a.m, bro. This is a really good idea. I'm going to text her. I love her and I miss her and I want her back. And I'm actually going to send her a picture of my Johnson as well now that we're at it too. That's pretty much what Kyrie Irving did last night. The IG post pretty much calls everyone out that is giving him a tough time and says, life means more than a damn ball going into a hoop, which, by the way, is his profession, which is something that people would die for. Bear in mind that this guy got traded for a guy named Isaiah Thomas, who played through a broken hip, who also played during a time that his sister died in the NBA playoffs. And as a result of this trade, his career went down the toilet, and now, instead of getting the max contract he deserves, Isaiah Thomas is now a veteran minimum player. I understand life does mean more than a ball going into a damn hoop, and this is obvious, but when life is going good, you don't hear Kyrie Irving saying, oh, my mental health is bad. You don't hear him saying anything like that. When things are going bad, you hear Kyrie Irving blaming his mental health. And we've heard of players with mental health issues, and honestly, I am very sensitive towards those players. The number one player I think of is Kyrie Irving's former teammate, Kevin Love. He mentioned some emotional and mental health issues he had as well, but he dealt with it responsibly. He didn't blame it whenever there was a tough loss. He didn't blame it whenever he played poorly. He didn't just use it to scapegoat difficult situations, and this isn't the first time Kyrie Irving blamed mental health. Now, I have said this before. I've said Kyrie Irving has had a spoiled NBA career. I don't believe he should have been drafted number 1 overall after playing 14 games in Duke, but he did. He got drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he was tasked with the very daunting task of filling the shoes of LeBron James, who just departed to the Miami Heat. So the Cavaliers began doing a terrible job rebuilding around Kyrie Irving. Year 1, they draft Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson. Year 2, they drafted Dion Waiters, number 4 overall, when they could have had, Damian Lillard or Andre Drummond, which is fine. Hindsight's 2020. They could have had Klay Thompson or Kawhi Leonard as well. And then the year after, they did the great job of drafting Anthony Bennett, number 1 overall, before they finally drafted Andrew Wiggins, number 1 overall, the year after in 2014. But that was the year LeBron James came back, so they flipped Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love, and LeBron James came over to form a big three with Kyrie Irving. At this point, Kyrie finally got to make his way to the playoffs. Kyrie also got a chance to play with one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of our generation. Now, the first year, he was injured, unfortunately, after having a great playoff series alongside LeBron James, and he wasn't really able to do much. But the next year, they completed one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history, overcoming a 3-1 series lead against the team with the greatest regular season record in NBA history to bring one of the most cursed franchises in NBA history their first championship. And of course, a year later, they didn't really experience the same success because the Golden State Warriors went out. They got Kevin Durant. They were at full strength that year before Kyrie finally said, look, I don't want to play alongside LeBron James. I want my own team. I want to be the face of a franchise. I want to go to Boston. So he gets traded to one of the most storied franchises in NBA history, the Boston Celtics, a team that, without a doubt, even whenever the chips are down, even if they're going through a tough rebuilding stretch, within the next 3 to 5 years, they will be fine. But guess what? The Celtics haven't officially rebuilt in about 11 years because they were in the midst of doing something that I've never seen a team do before. They were rebuilding while also competing in the playoffs, thus expediting the growth of all of their young role players. This made LeBron James look very bad, which is really sad. A lot of us thought that LeBron James was a bad teammate and we were blaming him, but this is not the case at all. If you pay attention to LeBron James now, with the chemistry he has with Anthony Davis, his newest all-star running mate, we can tell that LeBron James is just a phenomenal player and knows when to defer and where to put his teammates into positions to succeed. But this isn't about LeBron James, this is about Kyrie Irving. Now, this is the first test of a leader. Kyrie Irving, for some reason, has this idea that a leader is the guy that scores all the points. He wants to be Kobe Bryant on the 2006 Lakers, but he wants the 2006 Lakers to win the NBA Finals. He has this, so his very first test is he gets to Boston, he's teaming up with a great coach in Brad Stevens, a great front office, he has stability up the wazoo, and he is finally playing great basketball, and he is the leader. But the young role players around him, second-year player Jaylen Brown, rookie stud Jason Tatum, are starting to play very well without him. So well that they make it to the NBA playoffs, and they go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. They go up to Game 7 against LeBron James's Cavaliers, and guess what? During that Game 7, Kyrie Irving wasn't even on the bench to cheer on his team. How could that be? A true leader is tasked with grooming these players. They're looking up to you for support. You've been to the finals before. You've been in this situation before. Jason Tatum was a rookie, and he's dunking on LeBron James. This is your Robin. This is your future Robin. Same with Jaylen Brown. You need to groom these players. And instead of being happy that this team is so good that without him they could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, he gets upset. He actually gets very upset. So upset that he decides to team up with Kevin Durant, who tore his Achilles with an objectively less competitive team, who's way older and has a smaller competitive window than the Boston Celtics. I don't care what you say. I don't care how good the Brooklyn Nets are. The Brooklyn Nets are not going to be as good for as long as the Boston Celtics, simply because the Celtics are younger. The Celtics have more cap space. The Celtics are they're just set up for more success than the Nets, and I'm sure we could all agree with that. I'm a Laker fan. I would not gas up the Celtics for no reason. So this brings me to my conclusion. When Kyrie Irving was getting booed last night, what did he expect the Boston Celtics to do? Like, what did you expect that town to do after you sat down and you told them to their face, hey, I am going to resign, and then you left for the Brooklyn Nets? Did you expect them to welcome you back with wide open arms? Did you expect them to cheer you on for all the great things you've done for that city? Because everywhere Kyrie has gone, there has been a cloud of dysfunction following him. And before that, you had LeBron James masking it. But last year, when you came back and you were playing with this great Celtics team that was revitalized by their fantastic playoff run, clearly there was more dysfunction. Clearly nobody was happy playing with you. And clearly you weren't doing enough to try to fix that. You could hide behind the fact that you have mental issues and you're going through a difficult time, but no team has ever vouched for you. Like, if you watch football, the Oakland Raiders, John Gruden has called Antonio Brown the most misunderstood player that he's ever seen. But I've never seen any player or any coach or any GM coming out and saying Kyrie Irving is misunderstood. Maybe Marcus Smart did once in an interview saying Kyrie's going to do what Kyrie does, but no one's vouching for him. No one's saying he's a misunderstood guy. No one feels bad for him. In fact, it just seems like he's sad that people don't like him. But when you act the way you have acted and you behave the way you have behaved, no one is going to like you. No one cares for your health, for your mental problems, because you're hashing it and you're hiding behind it during a difficult time like a coward. And nobody cares because nobody understands and nobody sees what you go through in your personal life. You are essentially an actor in a theater. And whenever things go bad in the theater and you're hiding behind your mental problems, no one is going to buy it and no one is going to feel empathetic towards you. You are not smarter than everyone else, Kyrie Irving. I'm sorry that you are going through mental problems, but that is a pathetic excuse to try to get through a situation where people do not like you.